All right, we are going live. I know we're running behind a little bit. Um, you guys will be a little bit behind. That's because it takes a little time for this to load up to Facebook. We are here. D Todd is here with me. David will be here with me shortly, and we will get this thing going. Let's see. All right. I hope everyone has had a good week. There has been a ton of news throughout this week, throughout the previous week too. Last week we couldn't get on. We were hampered by some technical difficulties, but this week we are back and we are rolling, and we got several topics. As you see that the poster for tonight showed Samuel L. Jackson, Chattown Zone, on there. Obviously, the big talk right now is the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. There's just so much going on. The Kendrick Lamar halftime show. What's going on with the Gaza Strip, and will it be a bunch of hotels like Donald Trump is saying? The King of Jordan visiting today. Will the Palestinians have to leave, and will they be allowed to come back? It depends on who you ask. Just several different topics for us to touch. David's going to be joining us soon. He has some particular topics he wants to touch as well. I'm going to kick this over to D Todd and see what he's feeling today.
Man, it's just a fun day to be an American. It's like every day is a new journey.
Hmm.
Like the historians are gonna have fun writing this one, if they're allowed to.
Right, right. Yeah, it is a absolute tricky time, brother. I was watching a little bit of the halftime show, some excerpts they were showing, and I saw the guy running around with the Palestinian flag. I guarantee you, he is on a flight somewhere that he don't want to be, because they're not gonna play that with him. Uh, they gonna send him somewhere for sure. Um, but I'm gonna start by saying, with the halftime show, I was sitting there watching the game with my girl. I'm already upset because not that I'm a Kansas City fan, and I'm a Tennessee Titan fan, and I didn't have a a, a, a
Dog in the fight, huh?
dog in this fight, but I wanted to see a three-peat, but I also wanted to see Saquon getting one. So, but I was a little upset that it wasn't a good game. And then the halftime show came on, and as we sat there, she's always been a Kendrick fan. I haven't always really been. I mean, it's just his style of rap never really turned me on. In my opinion, it's just a little theatrical, so it just wasn't my thing. But so I was watching it from a performance standpoint and a performance standpoint only. And I'm an old man. I remember Prince, Purple Rain, Super Bowl. I remember Michael Jackson, Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I remember the Nip Slip with Janet Jackson. See, I remember uh, all these Super Bowls. So performance wise, I thought, man, this thing is mid. And then after it went off, immediately my sister, who is an artist in Chattanooga, shout out to Erica, uh, posted something showing the symbolisms that Kendrick had put in place. And what's funny is that my fiance was naming all these little things that was happening as she was watching it, and I was too busy being critical of the show itself to actually focus in on what he was trying to say. Um, how did you feel about the show when you were watching it?
It was. I wasn't shocked or surprised at all. I figured it'd go down that way. Now they leaked the script of what was going to happen.
Oh,
Now I thought the leaked script was fake, but it was out there. DJ Academics troll, biggest troll in the country, put it out there. When I read Samuel Jackson, I was like, oh, that's gonna be interesting. Then when you hear him, when he go out there, I mean, he set the stage. So
yeah,
I
he
don't
did.
know if you understood what was going down. I can kind of briefly explain it, but yeah. So first off, Kendrick made his latest album specifically for the Super Bowl and the
Hmm.
tour. So it all played a part. And his idea when he comes out to squabble up, and he's excited with his new songs. Samuel Jackson says, "Whoa, I mean, hey, that's not why we chose you to do this. Too loud, too boisterous, too ghetto, too
Mm-hmm.
black. So play something that they'll actually like. I mean, his next two songs are his two biggest hits, right? To kind of set the stage again. And he's like, all right. And then as he's playing those songs, he's walking down the middle of the American flag, which is part of the dancers dancing. He split the flag in two.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, hey, we're divided. And I thought that was super cool. And then he stopped and then switched up and then went back to some more from this new album. And then Samuel Jackson cut him off again and was like, whoa, again, you're not playing by the rules. And it was like deduct one life. And he was like, you don't get it. And then he was like, I shouldn't play it. I'm going to slow it down for the ladies. And all that was cool. And then eventually he played Not Like Us and everybody crazy, which is what they were waiting for.
Oh yeah.
He even had this shot about suing in there, which was funny.
Oh yeah. And then he, of course, he brought Serena out, which was big. And I didn't even put two and two together about the whole crip walking thing at Wimbledon, and then crip walking
It's the
at
Olympics,
Super Bowl. I mean Olympics,
2012.
and then crip walking at the Super Bowl. I didn't put all that together. Like I said, I was being critical of the situation. Some people say I'm a Drake fan. I ain't really a Drake fan. I just, I thought that he won the battle until that song, and then he just got destroyed. He got completely destroyed. Um, so
Uh,
yeah. Kendrick did his thing. I had a guy that was on my Facebook, and he was saying that nothing mid about that performance, and we had a back and forth about that. But I asked him because I don't really remember his position on Kaepernick kneeling, but I don't think it was too favorable. But he was really excited about the Kendrick performance, and I thought to myself, did he get the message, or is he just a Kendrick fan? Because in my opinion, Kendrick just kneeled right on the 50-yard line during the Super Bowl, and if they didn't like the kneeling, then I don't see how they would have liked this. I thought that was that was my opinion, that Kendrick put a message out there that nobody who didn't like the kneel would want to hear. That
oh, they
nobody.
did.
Hmm?
DEI performance is what they're calling
Yeah.
it. Haley Miller called it the worst performance in Super Bowl history.
Hmm.
But it's the most viewed Super Bowl in history. Now that
Hmm.
doesn't mean anything. That just means people could tune in, right?
Yeah.
So 133.5 beating out 133.4, which was like the most viewed TV programming since the moon landing.
Wow.
Interesting. But
That's
again,
huge.
that's just because people wanted to hear or see if he played the song, not because
Hmm.
they like him.
Right.
And then he had, I think, a 250% surplus in his music. It's the most streamed Spotify rapper in a month ever in history.
Yeah.
That being Drake, because of course Drake has all the streaming records.
Yeah.
But yeah, his album sale GNX is now number one again, after being, I think, in the top five, but not number one for the last 4 weeks. It's number one again. So it clearly had impact.
He
People
did his thing.
to
He,
listen. They left to go listen to him.
he
You know,
definitely did his thing, man. Um, Now I haven't seen anything, but I'm hearing that Donald Trump was not a fan of that performance, was not a fan of that message. There's been some reporting out by sources, no one wants to say their name, but that he was not a fan of the message that was put out through that,
mm,
and I wouldn't expect him to be.
of course not. Why would
Yeah,
he?
yeah, I wouldn't expect him to be. Um,
Now, to be fair, he should be happy because they got rid of DEI, right? Diversity,
mhm,
inclusion, equity. Like they got rid of it, right?
mhm,
So I mean, the black performer hired all black entertainers
yeah.
to do his. I mean, hey, no,
Mhm.
no DEI.
I
There's
saw a
no
lot of people.
like,
I saw a lot of people posting about. I thought you guys wanted unity. There was no one represented there. There was none of us represented there. I was gotta be kidding me, bro.
hey, y'all wanted to split. You want the
Hmm.
great divide, which was funny, but
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think. I think that one will stand the test of time, and it'll it'll grow on people even more, even the people that detracted from it. Especially because I got some homeboys that still are saying, bro, that was the worst performance, no matter what the message was. But I think as people, and I think it grew on a lot of people the day after. It definitely grew on me the day after. Um, um, I'm hoping that David pops in here because I don't want to introduce any other strong topics until he gets in here because he was very upset that he had to hold off the last show, and then the show before that he missed.
So wait,
But
are you saying our one pro-black topic is not a strong one?
well,
Where do you,
it's strong, but it's I don't think he
what are you
has. I
saying
don't
about
think he has a huge opinion on that. He's got other opinions on something else right now
some things
that
that
he
are a little
really
bit
wants
more?
to get out on. And he may have some opinions on that, but I know what he really wants to jump on, and I don't want to get into that part until he gets here.
Some things that are a little bit more important than entertainment, because I mean that's what the Super Bowl is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Man, as the Chiefs got blown out, were you surprised by that score?
I mean, yes, yes, because I expected Patrick to have a better game than that, but his offensive line couldn't hold up, and
To
it
be
was
fair,
Katie bar the door.
now their excuse was, well, they went 50. For him to have a down year, they still went 15-2, right? So that's the excuse. When they went 15-2, they can just turn it on. They
Hmm.
were battling every single game except maybe two this year.
Hmm.
We're just battling and winning it at the end. And their
Yeah,
defense steps up.
yeah,
They
which is
offense wasn't equipped to win that game if it got over 25 points.
yeah, yeah. That's their problem, yeah, because they're not a scoring machine anymore, at all,
And the
at all.
offensive line doesn't throw interceptions. That's on the quarterback. You got to be smarter with the ball. Punt.
Yeah, but as a quarterback that's got that kind of pressure, bro, that cannot be easy. That kind
No,
of
not
pressure
at
he was
all.
feeling, he was never comfortable in the pocket. Not 1 second was he comfortable in the pocket. And
But
how could he be?
you looking down, I mean, if you know you only got 2 to 3 seconds, like if you give Tom Brady or Peyton Manning that line in their prime, they're getting the ball off.
Yeah, it should
They're,
have been
they're audible,
there should have been checkoffs.
hot routes,
Yes,
everything.
hmm, definitely. There
That
should have been
interception, he's
checkoffs.
just looking down Kelsey, and then tries to switch it up when it's too late, gets hit, throws a pick. Like, come
Yep,
on, man.
yep. Yeah, it was a rough one, bro. It was definitely a rough one, and I did not expect it. Neither did Glorilla. She lost a $128,000 bet on it. 128,000. Floyd Mayweather smashed him on it because he did bet the right way, so he made quite a bit of money on it.
That's sad because, she got new money. She still owe that money.
Right, 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 right.
That's advanced money.
That's
That's
advanced
Gotti
money
money
she
she's playing
spent.
with. You down in Tennessee, that's Gotti money. She want
Yeah,
it back. He gonna want that back.
yeah. How was I saw the post you had today. You got a Black Excellence convention coming up.
That's correct. I am going to go and talk. I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about, but I get to jump on a panel with my peers and discuss black entrepreneurship in Fort Wayne.
That's what's
Be
up.
great.
That's what's up.
Be fun. Be fun to pick the minds or pick the brains of some like-minded people up there. Maybe they won't be like-minded and there'll be a debate. One
Right.
of those guys is a black Republican, so it'd be really amazing.
Oh, that's strong. We
Voted
need
for
to see.
Donald Trump, said Donald Trump was our future. And hell, he's done nothing but complain about Trump on his Facebook feed, as I can see. But we'll see.
Well, we need once you need to have a conversation with that brother, see if we can get him on here. That'd be awesome to get him on here. I like to see what he has to say.
Absolutely. I think he'll be down. He has a podcast that he was doing for a while there before life kind of took over. And he had to do much more, but he owns several businesses. He's a busy individual.
There you go.
Oh, what's up, brothers?
Big dog in the building, baby.
What's going on?
What's up, man? What a little man at? Oh, we lost you.
Oh, you back there chilling, man. He back there chilling.
He good?
Okay, I'm good. Yeah, we good.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well,
What's going on, B-Top?
Hello, sir.
we briefly discussed the halftime show so far. That's all we've done. We were trying to
Okay.
we were trying to beat around the bush a little bit till you got here because we didn't want to jump in too tough. What was
No, 'cause I
your
mean,
how was your feelings on the Super Bowl halftime Super Bowl?
my favorite part, honestly, was Sam Jack, man.
Yeah,
He came out there playing Uncle Sam,
yeah,
and I love the line like, no, y'all don't, this ain't what they want. This ain't, it's too ghetto, it's too this, and then they bumped into the scissor joint. But then I love the defiance of it all. That was the beauty of it. You know what I mean? And it ultimately hit a nerve because the people complaining about it, I mean, we all know what they look like. We all know what they sound like. We all know how they act. And
You look
then
and sound like Capo.
they do look and sound like Capo, man.
He's
Like,
taking us 5 years back. I just don't
I
understand.
feel like they didn't compromise, bro, man. I don't know. I don't know, but they didn't compromise, bro, man. They got
Hey,
him over there on the other side of the fence, like, wait.
he didn't. I think the message was great. I think the performance was mid. that's my point. The message was great.
But he's a rapper though, so you're not gonna get like the
Yeah,
greatest showman.
so don't bring
It's not
nobody
like-
out of the Super Bowl to do spoken word. It's the Super
What's that
Bowl.
now?
Don't bring somebody out to do spoken word at the Super Bowl. Bring
Yeah, but
somebody
see,
out to
but-
perform.
Hey, but hold on, but peep this. It wasn't until Kendrick did what he did, that's when he was on the NFL's radar.
Right on.
Like once he saw what Not Like Us was, I mean, they was like, yo, like this is the movie.
It ain't no they. It's one person. It's Jay-Z.
Well, it's more than Jay-Z. I mean, at
Well,
the end of the day,
They allowed Jay-Z to do this. This is what Jay-Z does for the Super Bowl.
no, I
That's what they
understand
allow
what he
him to
does.
do.
I understand what he does for the Super Bowl, but you know, at the end of the day, it's the NFL, right? And you know what? And what I love the most is at the end of the day, he played the song. And the funniest part about this shit is this. And I'm gonna use a little profanity real quick. And
Go ahead.
so here's my thing. So all you Drake fans out there, who the fuck do y'all think Drake is to where it's like he was gonna go and sue the NFL if Kendrick played that song? Like I don't understand where they came up with that. Like that was a thing. Like they are. I heard somebody say, I think it was my man on Jiggly Jones. What did he say? He said the NFL lawyers out here beating the CTE case. You know what I mean? So they ain't worried about Drake and his little
No.
lawsuit because his
No.
feelings hurt. They out there,
Billionaires.
you know,
Billionaires.
so yeah.
Big
Yeah,
billions. Not billions with a little B, with a big B.
It's different. You know, and I mean, I guess there's no time better than transitioning to, you know, America's most hated billionaire currently is the boy Elon Musk out here
Yeah.
acting a whole fool.
Yeah.
Acting a whole fool.
Yeah,
And,
watch how you talk about President Musk, man.
I'm sorry, my bad. And here's my thing. The fact that the richest man on this earth has convinced, I'll say 31% of the poorest people in this country that he has their self-interest in mind. I mean, at the end of the day, to be a billionaire or to be a president, like, I mean, you're an extremely arrogant person. And I'm talking about good presidents too. Like to think that you can go run and win a presidency requires a certain level of arrogance that's beyond comprehension for me. Number two, to become a billionaire, like you have to step on people. There's no legitimate way to earn $1 billion. There's just zero, unless you were born into it. I guess you can call it legitimate, but these people are out here convinced that this man is like, I want all of this information so that I can make the government better and more efficient.
Right.
Like, never mind that I got all of these defense contracts. Never mind that my ultimate whacked out goal is to get to Mars, and that's going to cost billions and billions and billions of dollars that I personally don't want to pay for. But if I can compromise an individual like Donald Trump, who ultimately ends up becoming elected president of the United States, I can get all of the money I want to do all of the things that I
Absolutely. It's
And that's what I
always
said
been
here.
it's always been about money, bro. It's always been about money. This ain't nothing new. This is the first time we got to see it. So you didn't get to see the Koch brothers stand up front and make policy. But they were there making policy when Reagan was there, when George Bush was there. They were there making policy. And hold on. Let me say, I'm not giving Elon an excuse. I can't stand him. What he's doing is wrong. But this is the way it's been forever. We just can see it up front, and they don't care anymore. They like, we don't care. Just like the Nazis in Cincinnati. They just say it out loud now. They don't care. They just don't care anymore. So now you got President Musk standing up front. He's the same as the Koch brothers before. Obviously, he has more money. He's the same as what's her name? The lady from Israel, Miriam Adelson, and her husband, the casino magnates. They're the same. K Street has been around forever, and politicians haven't ran anything in a long, long time. They've been influenced by money, but now what you get to see is a man stand up right in front of you and do it and there's no one gonna stop him. They just allow him to do it. And like you said, for for a few people, for people making over $500,000 a year, it makes sense to be happy that guy's in there because he's probably doing what's in your best interest. But for people who aren't making that kind of money, he's not doing anything for them. He's not
Right.
doing a thing for them.
Look, I'm okay with a certain amount of corruption in the government. That's just human nature. It's going to happen. The problem, what makes this so dangerous, is you got two different factions, right? Like you got Trump, who is trying to be all powerful. You got Musk, who wants all the money, right? But what makes it dangerous is that Trump has a backing of people who just literally just aren't smart enough to recognize what's going on and are constantly pushing back against everything. Like he gets bolder and bolder and bolder every single day when a judge strikes something down, and then he goes and he takes it to court, and he's tying up these court systems with all of these crazy ass things, and shit's just slipping through. And the next thing you know, I mean, like I said, I hate using that terminology that's going on right now, constitutional crisis, but I mean, that's kind of where we are right now.
Well,
Because,
we said that from the beginning. I mean, we said that he would be a fascist. This was said from the beginning, and everybody. I mean, I know y'all know who I am. I'm an eternal optimist. When I was in the joint, everybody said, "How do you get up and smile every day and run around this place like ain't nothing bad happening?" Where people getting knocked out and put to sleep right next to you. Because what? I got God, and none of it really matter at the end of the day for me, because I got God. So I keep moving through it. So I'm an eternal optimist. So I hoped and pray, and I still hope and pray. I never bet against America. I still hope and pray that it works out and we don't fall to fascism. But if you look at the direction right now in these first 20 some odd days, that's where we're going. That's where we're going.
I'm a gambler, so the odds are not in your favor right now, sir.
They are not.
For optimism. So what are you thinking, D-Todd?
It's tough because I mean, Americans just gave this away. Now you kind of got to deal with it. I'm not necessarily saying the worst, but I am an FAFO type of person. A little vindictive streak in me. I'm a Scorpio. My girl says it's a bad thing, right? Kind of like, haha, I'm going to be okay. I tried to save you.
Yeah.
So, you see the money move. And the money's already moving.
It's already moving.
Money has he made since he took over?
Yeah, it's already moving.
156 billion.
Prices ain't coming down.
Eggs are $9, but people
prices
don't care.
Ain't coming down. You know,
your same Facebook friends that were posting about 350 eggs ain't said a word.
Yeah. Oh, they all forgot about it now. I bring it up. I bring it up twice a day at work. How much them eggs cost? We keep eggs in our refrigerator at work, right? I'll tell y'all a little story. We keep eggs in our refrigerator at work, and whenever we come, we're allowed to just, the managers eat as many eggs as they want because our owners likes to eat eggs. We got a boiler back there and everything. Well, there's only one guy that really brings them in, with two people that brings in the eggs. All of a sudden, last week there was a note on the door saying, "If you ain't pitch in on these eggs, don't be coming in here eating these eggs."
Hey, look.
I opened the door, I closed it back, and walked off because I ain't pitched in nothing.
Look, we were supposed to host Super Bowl this past Sunday, but our friends, they all got kids, and like our crib, as dope as it is not very kid friendly because it's primarily me and my wife, and then grandson. I carved in my little corner in my office or whatever. So we ended up at my man's gym, and that's where we all did the Super Bowl thing. And my wife, she bakes cupcakes and she makes these little delicious sliders and roast beef sliders and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they requested cupcakes, and so come Sunday when we was leaving, I thought she was gonna go to the store, and she was like, "Look, nah, bro, like these eggs too dang on high." So she went and bought some little prepackaged mini cupcakes to take to the.
Hey, bro, they not playing with the eggs. Now they blaming it on Biden. They say Biden killed all the chickens before he left the office. See what he want?
No, right. That's what I'm saying. You can't win for losing with MAGA, bro, because they can clearly see what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. And you know what? Here's one thing too. That something that somebody brought to my attention or whatever, and I don't know where I heard it from or where I saw. I know I read it somewhere. And like these little mini victories they give in Trump, they're not they don't celebrate any successes of Trump because he has none, right? They just celebrate what he does to the people that they don't like.
Yeah.
And like that's what keeps this thing going. That's what's keeping this thing going.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're still talking about illegal immigration, gotta get these immigrants out of the country. Every person that says that to me, I'm always like, how has an illegal immigrant affected your life?
Right.
Personally.
Right.
They haven't.
I can think of some positive ways they have.
Every person that I know that's an immigrant. I mean, I don't know a ton of illegals anymore. I used to know a whole bunch of them, but you know what? Them boys got up and they worked harder than I did every day when I was out there cutting on them trees.
And if you didn't bring no food to work, they'll jump on that hot pot, give us burritos or whatever we wanted, took care of us like it wasn't nothing to it.
Like it wasn't nothing, man.
Yeah.
So I don't get it. Like when I was on vacation in Colorado last year and I walked out of the room, I think I told this story before, and the lady that was tossing the rooms or whatever, I said, hey, she couldn't understand what I was saying. She just looked at me, and dude came running down the hall, translated all that stuff, and I looked at my wife. I was like, man, if I was a MAGA, that would enrage the hell out of me. And I was like, you know what? All these vacations, all these hotels that I've ever stayed in, all of this, all of that, I ain't never seen no white girl in there turning my room. I ain't never seen no white dude in there turning my room. There's always some lady from Honduras doing it.
Yep.
Or from, wherever she at.
Yeah, we don't want to do it. We don't want to do it.
But, like I said, capitalism is only great, because of slave labor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the only way it works. I mean, it's good for what you want. It's not good for anything that you need. And the only way it works is slave labor. Whether it was true slaves back in the day or illegal immigrants now that's working for these super low wages. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, I don't know 10,000, 500,000 white people that's really ready to go out there and work anybody fields. They ain't gonna do it.
It'll be tough.
I'm gonna before we jump off of President Musk, I'm gonna play something real quick. Here we go. And this is part of the segments we're going to get in because I have a lot of segments from that interview that Trump did. A lot of segments that we can pop in and have conversations about. Go live on this one.
19 states' attorneys general filed a lawsuit, and early Saturday, a judge agreed with them to restrict Elon Musk and his team, government efficiency team and DOGE, from accessing Treasury Department payment and data systems.
I disagree with it 100%. I think it's crazy, and we have to solve the efficiency problem. We have to solve the fraud, waste, abuse, all the things that have gone into the government. It's just a fraud. It's a big scam. Now, there's some good money, and we can do that through any one of a number, but it's a fraud. Look at the jobs that they produce for people. I'm not even going to mention their name. It's too big a show to mention their name. It's almost unfair, but the whole thing is a giant fraud. And I think judges will have to do the right thing, really. Otherwise, you're going to have a whole big problem with the country. Now,
bottom line, you say you trust
right
him.
here.
Trust Elon? Oh, he's not gaining anything. In fact, I wonder how he can devote the time to it.
He's not gaining anything. He's not gaining anything.
How
The
many
guy that's
billions?
got billions of dollars of contracts with the United States government is not gaining anything. How much did you say he already made since the presidency?
$156 billion.
Not gaining
But-
anything.
But that's you know what? But he's throwing red meat at people, right? He's pandering to the people that don't understand it. Because again, there's a whole host of people. I heard President Trump doesn't take a salary. Well, that's $400,000 a year to a guy that has as much money as him.
Right.
What difference does that make? He ain't doing nothing. He's doing this for free.
Right.
Okay.
The biggest grift in history.
In history, bro was hawking Bibles, shoes, coins. $100 fake bills with his face on it. Like, again, like I said, at this point, like it feel like we just in a really, really bad dream. Because people, and the funny part about it is people that I won't say respect, because I don't respect a lot of people's opinions, because like I said, I mean, most people don't read. I ask people all the time, like, what do you read? Do you read it? I just listen to Joe Rogan. Okay, well, I'm out on you.
Right.
But hearing people and seeing people that I thought were smart or at the very least competent try to make excuses for this. It's so beyond me. Or just like talking to somebody yesterday at work about the Star Spangled, because again, being a black dude in the oil industry, I'm the only one in the office. What did you think of the halftime show? And somebody said something about Star Spangled Banner. I didn't like how it sounded. I'm like, bro, do you even know the Star Spangled Banner? Yeah, I know the Star Spangled Banner. Do you know who wrote
it? Was written for? Yeah.
Do you know who wrote it?
Yeah.
Oh no, but did you know there was a third and fourth stanza to it? No, I only know what we know. Well, yeah, go read it, go look it up. And him looking it up and reading, he was just like,
yeah. And then they try to gas over it. Like,
yeah. Well, when he was talking about slaves, what slaves were he? Like the slaves.
The slaves.
When they talked about Britain, like they wasn't gonna be safe because again, the British was like, "Come fight for us, we're free." You know what I mean? Like they again, capitalism doesn't work without slavery. So I just.
That's funny. I had a conversation with my fiance the other day about how slavery wasn't that long ago, and everybody says get over it, get over it. It was such a long time ago. My grandmother lived to be 99. Her mama lived to be 92. I knew her, the 92-year-old, and she knew about slavery. She knew about it. And
she lived it.
She lived it. So it ain't that far away. If me sitting here today at 50 years old talk to a person that knew everything about slavery, then it ain't that far away. Now, give us at least till everybody who's dead that ever talked about it, that ever talked to someone who could talk about it. Maybe we'll give y'all a break then. But as long as I can still say that my great grandma could talk about it, then it ain't too long ago. It's just not too long ago. And at the same time, if you say anything about free Palestine, then they ain't trying to say that was so long ago what happened to Israel. You can never forget that. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget that. But forget about slavery. You're not the only ones who were slaves. You're not the only ones. All right.
Well, my favorite argument was the Africans sold Africans into slavery.
Right.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my favorite one. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, at the end of the day, I know we came on here and when we started this, the idea was to hold Trump accountable and talk about what he was going to do. This is beyond policy. It was never about policy. Like I said, I saw through every one of the lies that he said on the campaign trail. It started with just keeping himself out of jail, and then you sell yourself to Elon Musk, and now it's just open season. It's just like basically taking 10 5-year-olds and just say, hey, go to this candy store and just do what you want to do. And this is exactly what's going on. It's exactly what's going on around. And it seems like everybody's powerless to stop it. I mean, thank goodness for these judges that are out here, blocking these ridiculous executive orders. But then you got Elon Musk going around talking about judges should be impeached, and now all of a sudden there's a narrative. And then you got J.D. Vance, who for the life of me, I can't figure out how you're a Yale law graduate and you tweet something ridiculous as judges don't have the power to stop the president's legitimate power. That word legitimate is kind of vague as hell, right? So, they're literally destroying the government. I mean, just ripping it apart to ultimately turn it into, his idea of what he thinks America should be. And in his case, he just wants to do whatever he wants to do.
That's the thing. The anarchists want that, though. That's what they want. That's what they voted for, was to tear the government down. They don't understand that they need the government. They don't understand that they still need the government. I don't understand how they don't get it.
No, the reason why they don't get it is because, they know the words like socialism, which they hate, but they don't read and they don't understand how it actually impacts their lives, right? So as long as they stay away from the trigger words, or as long as they use the trigger words, that's how they mask it for these people. Like they really, really dumb it down. They dumb it down, and the people they understand because they're being affected by it now. Again, we're not at a point where the mass majority of these people who voted for this dude are in a space where they're ready to openly admit it. But I promise you, they're having conversations around their tables at home like, yo, we might have fucked up.
Bro, it's what I said from the beginning. There's two factions right now in the MAGA party, and a lot of it's economical. Even you would admit somebody that makes $500,000 or more probably should have voted for him. I think we said that on the podcast. But people who made less than that should probably rethink their vote. But there's also a category of those guys that made a lot of money that voted for him who are second guessing some of his decisions now. The stock market's not moving the way they want it moved.
Nope.
The market's not reacting to these tariffs the way, and he doubled down on them. He doubled down on them again today. He's not going to back off of them because he doesn't care. He doesn't care at all.
That simple.
I brought a lot of clips today so we could keep moving and have stuff to discuss. You know, I wanted to jump on Gaza today. I don't know. I know that, Dave, you're not that really affected by it, but man, it bothers.
To
it
be
bothers
fair,
me.
fair, we're all affected by all of these things. It just doesn't hit a certain amount. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
For the
everybody has
sensitive
a different hot button. I use that when we sell cars. You know, a mom comes in with a kid. I don't tell her about the engine and the horsepower. I tell her
Right.
about the airbags and the safety because
Yeah.
everybody has hot buttons. And for a long time, I sat in denial defending what Israel was doing. And it was because of my Judeo-Christian background. I just kept doing it and kept doing it. And once the light comes on for somebody like me, I can't cut it back off.
Because you're
And
not a white nationalist. I know you want to be, but you're not.
Right.
What's that?
Yeah. He said, because you're not a white nationalist, I know you want to be, but you're not.
Hey,
But
I not get invited to my wedding.
Here's the thing, bro. Here's
Might
the
be
thing.
safe for me not to go.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let y'all dive in. I'm gonna let y'all dive into Gaza, right? More people in the history of this earth have been killed in the name of Christianity than any other movement in this world, right?
Mhm.
So I can understand. I understand why religion and faith exists. I grew up in the church. And I mean, when I say I grew up in the church, I was in it. Like my parents made me go, and I was involved. At one point, I even thought I was going to be a pastor. But then I saw the politics in the church that I was growing up in, and it really turned me off. And every church that I visited, it was kind of all the same, right? And you start reading, and you start looking at different things. You look at like the Council of Nicaea, just the inception of what Christianity is, where it all started at. And I just don't. Again, I'll respect anybody in their faith, but yeah, this thing where we're right over here because we're Christian and everybody else is wrong. It just never set right with me. I mean, there are more Muslims on this earth than there are Christians. Yet, Christians want to control everything, and the Muslims they just be chilling. They just like leave us alone.
Yeah,
Leave us alone. It's the same thing.
That's kind of a stretch, but I won't get into that debate. They
I
don't really be chilling. They don't even like each other much. They don't even like each other much.
Right, but what I'm talking about, children leave us alone.
The Hadith says kill the infidels. The Hadith says kill the infidels. That's what the Hadith says.
It does, but again, though, at the same time, though, you also got to understand, and you also got to just look at it like this. For instance, I mean, just go back to 1980, right? The Soviets invaded Afghanistan. Okay, we're sitting there pushing capitalism on everybody in the world. Afghanistan was our ally. Bin Laden at one point was our ally. All of a sudden, then here's the United States and their imperialism trying to go and take over somebody's region and tell them how to live their lives and tell them how to do this, and then they turned us. It's like, this ain't what we wanted. This ain't what we asked for. Iraq today looks very, very different, or even Iran today looks very, very different than it did in 1970.
Believe me, I understand that American imperialism has hurt America, but I also understand that when your number one prophet tells you to kill the infidels, you're more disposed to kill the infidels. When my prophet tells me to love my enemies, I'm more disposed to love my enemies. That's my difference. That's my difference.
But your prophet is also prepared to burn everybody.
That's not my prophet. He's not my prophet. He's the son of God.
Okay, well, the son of God.
I don't have a prophet.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But the Son of God is also sitting there like, hey, yeah, if you ain't riding with me, I'm gonna go ahead and burn you when you die. You know, like there's
Absolutely.
that too.
The wages of sin or death. When my
Yeah.
son, when my son comes in, when my son came home and I told him, don't go in that refrigerator and get something out, and he went and got something out. Guess what? I scolded that ass. I popped that ass. And hey, and guess what? The next time he ain't going in that refrigerator. When I scolded that ass. A good father will deliver pain to the child to get him in the right order. And I'm God's child. But that being said, I'm not gonna make it about religion. We're
Yeah.
gonna jump into Gaza real quick
Go for it.
and see what you guys think. See how you guys feel. Let me get this live.
Go for it.
There are a lot of hot spots around the world. I want to hit a few quickly.
Okay.
With Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, you said this.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it.
That caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah, some
obviously.
positive.
Some positive, but even some of your supporters wondered whether that meant U.S. troops were going to have to be going into a dangerous Middle East conflict.
No troops.
So where is it today?
I've been watching 50 years, 60 years. They go in, they occupy, they get slaughtered, everything's terrible, everyone leaves, they go back. This has been going on for forever, right? Forever. Now it's essentially a demolition site. There's practically no building that's livable in the whole thing, on the whole Gaza Strip. I say we go in, we knock them all down, we just create some, no more Hamas, there's no Hamas there, there's nobody there. We move them into beautiful areas of the Middle East. I'd like to go to Egypt. They have a lot of land. I'd like to go to Jordan. I'd like to go to others. And we'll build beautiful communities for the 1.9 million people. We'll build beautiful communities, safe communities. Could be 5, 6, could be 2. But we'll build safe communities a little bit away from where they are, where all of this danger is. In the meantime, I would own this. Think of it as a real estate development
I would
for the
own
future.
this. You heard
It
him?
would be a beautiful piece of land.
Would the Palestinians
No
have the
big
right to
money
return?
spent. No, they wouldn't, because they're going to
Hold
have
on,
much better housing.
Now, you heard what he said. They said, would the Palestinians have the right to return? And he said, no, they would not have the right to return. They'll have nice housing. Now, this is what I mean by they can't even get their own story straight. Hold on just 1 second.
Can you confirm that under the President's plans for Gaza, any and all Palestinians who want to stay in Gaza on their land will be allowed to do so?
I can confirm that the President is committed to rebuilding Gaza and to temporarily relocating those who are there because, as I've showed you repeatedly, it is a demolition site. There is no running water. There is no electricity. The President wants these individuals to live in peace.
Temporarily, she says. But when asked to Trump, will they be able to come back? That's twice. That's twice he doubled down and said, no, they will not be able to come back. They won't want to come back because I'm going to build them these beautiful homes. Sounds very reminiscent of what we did with the Indians and told them we would make them these nice places to stay until we took over their land as well. And now where are the Indians at on reservations?
This is a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream. It ain't gonna happen. Number one. Number two. Where are you gonna put up? Number three. This man, who had infrastructure week every time in his first administration, he didn't even build anything. He didn't build not one bridge in America. Again, like the messaging, the messaging is so contradictory to what he's actually doing. Like I said, at the end of the day, you're not about to just go displace 1.9 million people.
I don't think
What
he
about
wants
killing
to
them?
displace them.
What do you think? D?
I think he wants to kill them.
Yeah, well, man, that's what I said. Without killing them, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to. The deal that was brokered, the ceasefire, will end. They will say, hey, you can voluntarily leave and you have 30 days to do so. After 30 days, we are coming over. We are bombing the entire land, flattening it, and moving forward.
30 days would be lucky because he just announced that they got till Saturday.
I'm sorry.
Did you hear the announcement?
Excuse my ignorance. You got
Did you hear
till
the announcement?
Or you die.
Yeah, he had the announcement earlier that
Free
on Saturday he wants.
The Free Palestine Americans did this to these people.
You mean the ones that voted?
The blood is on your hands. The ones that didn't vote. third
Yeah.
party, non-committed.
Yep.
Blood is on your hands
Yep.
because more people voted non-committed than the difference between Kamala and Donald. So you could have saved it. And we're talking Pennsylvania and Michigan, swing states. You could have
Mhm.
saved it.
Mhm.
You didn't. You voted
And-
to end Gaza as you know it. So
And
I
David,
mean,
go ahead, D. My bad.
no, I'm just saying that's tough. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And David, well, I know you said like it's not a serious thing, but he literally had the king. He had the king. I know you're saying that he won't build anything because he never does. He says these things and doesn't really intend. But he had the King of Jordan there today. I just finished watching that interview, and the King of Jordan and the King of Egypt and the Crown Prince of Saudi were all talking big stuff. We ain't taking nobody in. We're not getting these people off their land. They're not leaving. Palestinians had a right to be there. This is all they were saying. Sitting in front of Donald Trump, the president, the King of Jordan, I forget his name, Abdullah. I keep forgetting, but he capitulated. I mean, he not completely capitulated, but I watched his son sit there beside him and sink in his chair. You got to watch that video later, bro, because the reporters asked a question to him. What are you going to do? Are you going to get are you going to make the Palestinians leave? And Trump said, well, I'll let him answer it. And he said, well, we're going to begin by taking in 2,000 children who have cancer, but then we're going to sit with the president and with the King of Egypt, and we're going to figure out a plan to keep these people safe. Donald Trump turned around and doubled down and said, we're going to own that land. The lady asked him, how are you going to own it? Are you going to pay for it? No, we're not going to pay for it. We're going to own it, and nobody's going to say a thing. These are his exact words, bro. I quote it. He said it right in front of the King of Jordan. Something's going on that just ain't right.
Look, Israel's going to come take over that land and gift it to the United States as payback for all of the bombs we sent them. So yeah, blood's still on Joe's hands too.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you think this would be happening if Kamala was in office?
No. That's why Miriam gave him all the money. That's why Miriam gave him $100 million.
I'm trying to be optimistic here. Look at both sides of this. But there's two sides to everything, and it's bad here, bad there. I'm trying to see who would be in a bad, keyword is bad, position if Kamala was president right now.
I can't name a person.
Maybe Trump.
Maybe. Yeah.
Trump.
But they
Probably
gave him, the Supreme Court did everything they could to save him from going to jail. So even if he lost, he'd be fine.
Yeah.
He'd be on an island somewhere kicking it. So no.
Yeah, I don't see a silver lining anywhere. I mean, like I said, my faith, what faith I had left was in the courts, and after doing a little bit of reading and understanding, like, I mean, again, yeah, the courts can block, the courts are blocking, but I mean, the fact that they're ignoring the thing and no one's doing anything about it, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't understand how. I guess I'm trying to grasp how great of a job it is to be a congressman or a United States senator. It has to be an amazing job, because these people are so afraid of no longer having that job that they're willing to watch their country burn.
Mm-hmm.
They got paid.
Yeah.
You got 6 years as a senator. No, you got 13 years. How many years do you get?
It's 6 years.
6
Yeah,
years or something ridiculous.
Senator, I think it's 6 years. But either way it goes, what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I don't understand how you sell out your entire country. It's not like you wield any power as a senator at this point. If this man's calling all the shots and he's got
He
you
took it all.
No,
He
it's
took
true.
all the
But
power.
you can't blame him. He
No,
didn't pull out a gun and demand to take over the country. The
no,
country
they
gave him the money.
let him do it. They're
we
letting him
handed it
do
to
it.
him on a silver platter.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't just hand it to him. We handed it to all the senators who have the R next to their name. You handed it to all the House representatives who had the worst voting block in 2 year in history of the court. They moved nothing. They passed nothing. They pushed forward nothing. And as long as Americans keep voting for these constituents based on party and not policy or action, so it's Donald Trump's pissed. Look at that.
Yeah, he is. They shut us down last week, but we back.
But no, it's as long as Americans continue to go party and you're liberals and you're poor.
I
Yeah,
am.
somebody said earlier today, yeah, well, you know, every time we talk about this stuff at work or whatever, you know, it always ends with somebody, well, it ain't really got nothing to do with it.
Yep. You play politics and politics plays you.
It's not affecting me. It's just politics. Like, no, it's not. It is going to affect you. And the irony to all of this is, you know, it's our freedom. Like, bro, like, when you start just stroking the pen, getting, you know, just going through the Constitution, like I said, the thing that you guys are scared the most of is losing your guns, right? Well, what happens if he can just stroke away birthright citizenship with his pen? You know what? Well, when he really wants to try to take over the entire country, it's like, yeah, we'll take a gun. And then all of a sudden, everybody, oh my God, he's so terrible. I don't get it, man.
Gets rid of birthright citizenship to stroke your nationalist ego, and then he takes all of the money out of your pocket. And I didn't work hard enough, idiot.
Because right now the narrative is, oh, well, it's going to stand for a while. We're okay with that. No, because you voted for it because of X.
Yeah, did you see the Venezuelan women in Florida? The Republican Party tricked us. They told us they would not do this. They said they wouldn't do this to the legal ones. We tried to tell you.
For
We tried to.
Trump.
Yeah.
You ain't got that video.
The world's smallest violin. Absolutely.
You ain't got that video pulled?
Huh? No, I didn't. I don't have it
We're
pulled.
gonna vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah, he rubbing her shoulders and carrying on. And
Yeah,
just standing up,
with the
standing
little
up there
dance
crying.
move.
Hispanic men didn't care. They
Yeah,
played
no.
like they battling within each other. They sold their own people out. That's crazy.
Yeah.
White women sold all women out.
Well, I think my favorite videos right now are the women of the Caucasian persuasion. Where are you guys? Yeah, why are you not protesting with us? And this black guy's like, hey, we did our thing. We did what we had to do.
Don't just
Yeah.
move. Vote.
I was out here worried about Jim Bob, the mechanic, you know, coming home and being upset if you found out that you voted for Kamala instead of Trump. You know, so at the end of the day, I mean, we all suffering. I mean, you know, some to their varying degrees, you know. But yeah, I mean, like I said, JB, I'm trying to find a silver lining. I don't see it anywhere now.
Yeah. You being in the oil business, bro. Hey, I be trying to school these people at work too, cause they still screaming, "Drill, baby, drill, drill, baby, drill." We produce.
That's not how that works.
We producing so much oil already, and but they don't understand. Like we in a bit. Every business in capitalism is supply and demand. The less supply, the more money. Nobody wants. No. Why would the oil company want to drill more? You're not gonna get. You're not gonna get OPEC to do it either. OPEC ain't gonna. They're not. Just for OPEC to survive, just for their government to survive, for them to pay all their people, because you know they pay their citizens just to be there. They have to have oil at $90 a barrel. They have to. Is what OPEC Press put out. Is that $90 a barrel is their sweet spot over there. Now I don't know what it is right now, but $90.
It's $76 right now currently. Yep. Well, yeah, that was according to Brent. So tomorrow at 10 o'clock, the DOE report's going to come out at 10 a.m. every morning, or every Wednesday, 10 o'clock. And yeah, like I said, when we start talking about the drill baby drill people, like we're drilling more than ever now. You know what I mean? We're consuming more, you know, domestically than we are, you know, importing.
D, you still there?
I'm still here.
Your picture's gone.
I'm here.
Okay.
So yeah, again, these are just trigger words for these people, man. Drill, baby, drill. DEI, immigrants, illegal, criminal, nasty person. Like you know, you even hear it now. Like she's just a nasty person because that's what he says every time. Anybody says something that he doesn't like. That's a very nasty person, and they just regurgitate what it says, man. But yeah, no, the reality of the situation is, like I said, there isn't going to be a drill making drill.
No.
You know, this
Yeah, of course.
administration and its partners, they hate unions, so the unionized people, they're going to get screwed. The farmers are getting screwed. You know, these tariffs, you know, with Canada is absolutely insane because, again, I think most of these farmers get their fertilizer from Canada. I believe that's where it comes from.
Yep. Not only
And,
that, even shutting down USAID or USAID as it should be called. They want to spell it out so you don't hear the word aid. Shutting it down, shut off funding the farmers. Now maybe he'll make an excuse for farmers and give them the money still, but as of right now, farm money shut down for 90 days. Farm subsidies are shut down for 90 days. And if and then again, not only that, if he does do those tariffs that he's gonna put on China again, he had to bail the farmers out in his first administration because soybean and wheat was just sitting there piling up because China was like, okay, cool, we'll figure it out. Because China don't care. They'll let their people starve. They'll let them starve before they'll cave. They don't care. They got enough of them. They'll let them starve before they'll cave into the pressure from Donald Trump. It's just it's wild, bro. It is.
Yeah, I've never in my life, you know, I remember a week or so ago, you know, again, like NSA, if you listen to this, I'm not a traitor to the United States at all. But part of me was like, damn, hey, where you at, China? Like, where you at? Like, you know, somebody like that's really a gangster come out here and talk some shit to this dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come talk some shit to this dude, because this ain't it, man.
I was hoping that the King of Jordan and Egypt and Saudi Arabia would show some kind of backbone, and Saudi Arabia still will. They don't care.
Yeah, MBS, he don't give a
He don't care, bro.
Trump.
He don't care nothing about it, and he'll tell him to his face he don't care nothing about it.
Yeah, he don't care nothing about it.
Yeah, he don't care nothing about it. That's who he tried to pressure MBS to up the supply at OPEC, and he laughed.
Yeah,
he laughed. So I'm not drilling any. I'm not getting any more oil. What I want to do that for? To lower the price of. I'm not doing that. And it was by 2030 that they had to be at $90 a barrel to sustain the payments to their countrymen. I guess they pay everybody money just to live there, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, honestly, the real talk, a break even on crude oil is $40. Anything above $40 is all profit. And anything above $40 is all profit. So $40 is the sweet spot right now. When I saw, I think it was yesterday, when I was reading a report about the Russian sanctions, I think it was at $76 a barrel.
And even as you sit in the oil industry, like you said, there is no incentive for the oil company to drill more right now, is there?
No.
There's no incentive for it.
No, I mean short of a a national catastrophic disaster. I mean, supply chains are wide open. I mean, there was an issue on the CPL, the Colonial Pipeline, a few weeks ago, where there was a leak in in certain states that it travels through, particularly in the South. There's some shortages on gas, but I mean, again, we got plenty of juice, man.
Yeah,
we got plenty of juice.
Drill, baby, drill is not going to get the prices down. Never going to happen.
It's never going to happen, man. As long as there are greedy men in this world, and again, it's like with everything. It's like a bag of Doritos. Once they realize he's going to pay $5 for a bag of Doritos, there's no reason for them to go back.
Yeah. And he knew it. He knew it when he campaigned on it. When he said he was going to lower prices, he wasn't even in the office yet, and he already said, "Well, that's going to be a little more difficult than I thought." You knew it was impossible. You knew it was impossible to go back. And what he's going to do is cause inflation. If people don't believe it, I don't understand how they don't believe it. The money he's trying to save in these little spots that he's taking money from this and that, his tax plan will cause inflation. There is no way around it. It's just no way around it.
Well, speaking of trying to be efficient and save money, I mean, why you spend $20 million to go to the Super Bowl?
On what?
Why you spend $20 million to go to the Super Bowl the other day?
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, granted, my theory behind that is, like I said, That's how we knight royalty in this country is giving sports teams. And he was turned down by the
Yeah.
NFL years ago, multiple times. And I think that was kind of like his whole attempt at a fuck you to the NFL. But the best part about it is they showed him one time. That was during the national
One
anthem.
time.
It looked goofy as hell, like this. Everybody else here,
Yeah. One
he was like,
time, bro.
Yeah,
I thought-
and
I
that's
thought
all
he
he was.
left.
He wasn't getting no TV time.
Yeah, I thought he
was
left.
getting no TV time. Nah, bro. We didn't even know he was going. It's a joke, man. It's a joke.
All right,
Joe.
we're gonna move on off of Gaza. What do y'all think
You know, the Prime Minister
about
said this weekend to a group of Canadian businessmen
Canada
in his private meeting, he said
as our 51st state?
that your wish for Canada to be the 51st state is a, quote, real thing. Is it a real thing?
Yeah, it is. I think Canada would be much better off being a 51st state because we lose $200 billion a year with Canada, and I'm not going to let that happen. If they're a 51st state, I don't mind doing it. The Canadian citizens would have a much lower tax rate. They'd have
Listen to
much
this.
better medical, and they'd have military protection like nobody can have. You know, you go to Canada, all of the drugs are much less expensive. I suggested that some of the governors should go buy their drugs in Canada and send them back to here. It's very simple.
So if Canada becomes the 51st state, their medical health care will get better. But it wasn't 30 minutes later he said that he suggested to governors that they go to Canada to buy their medication because it's cheaper in Canada. The guy just says whatever and he calls it the weave, and they just allow him to weave and lie and say whatever. It don't make no sense.
That last part wasn't a lie.
Oh no, it's not a lie, but I'm saying it doesn't correlate with what he said prior to it.
Because that's when he accidentally says the quiet part out loud.
Yeah. You can't help himself.
They won't return. No.
Yes.
He said they won't return.
Talking about Gaza again. Just
Talking
saying
about
when he
Gaza.
says the quiet part out loud by accident because he can't stop,
So-
can't help himself.
So this Canada thing, number one, again, I think, like I said, I think we're just at a point now where, like, he gave him some red meat with this whole awful America thing, right? So like everybody's like, oh, whatever, right? I hate using those. These are distraction words. I hate when people say that. But no, everything that he says in regards to Greenland, Panama, Canada, are distractions. Even in his fairy tale brain, if he thinks that it's possible, it's not happening. Number one, it's not happening. Two, it's just something for people to focus on that draws attention away from what Elon Musk and company are doing. That's all this is. That's all this is. You said the tariffs, I mean, by God, he believes in that. That's just dumb as hell. But this Canada thing becoming the 51st state, it's not.
Elon Musk wants Greenland as bad as anything. It's crazy, but I guess they got a lot of nickel up there, and he needs the nickel for his batteries.
Maybe.
I guess they have the largest deposit of nickel in the world.
Yeah, but I thought they need lithium for these electric batteries. And that's in Brazil.
I guess you
But
gotta
there's
have
not-
nickel too. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you do, but I mean, there's not enough lithium in the world to sustain a world full of electric cars.
No,
So,
they're gonna move away from lithium at some point. That's what we always hear in the car industry.
I mean, they might, but I mean,
They
I
have
don't know what the alternative is. But like I said, at the end of
Hydrogen,
the
I
day,
believe is what they're saying.
yeah, Elon's self-interest, I get that. Fine. You know what? Again, I don't understand how you have all that money and you're still out here working, number one. Because I promise you, if I woke up tomorrow and I had $3 million, you're going to never see me working no more. I'll be chilling.
Yeah,
I'll be
$3 million. I'm
chilling.
gonna collect the interest off of that, and I'm relaxing.
Man, I'm going to be chilling.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why this dude's still out here doing all this stuff. But, I guess his own ambitions to go to Mars, whatever. But as far as Canada is concerned, man, like I said, I don't see how that's possible.
Me either.
I don't see a world where that's possible. I mean, again, I guess Constitution is kind of under attack, but I mean, that has to be ratified by 2/3 of the states to even accept that, like along with Congress. There's so many things that have to happen for that to happen.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me you're going to take an entire country that's millions and millions and millions of square miles, and all of a sudden it's going to be one state,
Yeah.
38 million people. I mean, I get it. It's got the population of California, but I mean, in what world does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's a ridiculous proposal, but
I mean,
he's a ridiculous person.
he's an unserious person, you know, as you know, Ms. Kamala said, Donald Trump is an unserious man.
Mhm.
He's like a little kid. He's like that kid Sid on Toy Story that destroys the toys
Mhm.
for his entertainment. Like he's a big old man child, and I you know, who hit a lick in 2016 that should have gone away in 2020, and we shouldn't even be here. But our countrymen are so idiotic. Like there's just no excuse for it. I mean, these are the people that are in the worst possible position. Like I said, I saw a guy get let go at my job, you know, who had been there for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, who repeatedly told me, well, no, it was actually right about 2020 when he started, who repeatedly told me the amount of money that he made was the most he had ever made in his life. But he sat around all day long complaining about Joe Biden.
Mhm.
He got the job after Trump was gone, made the most money he ever made in his life under Biden, but somehow he loves Donald Trump.
I watch millionaires around me say the same thing. People that own dealerships and said the same thing, and as they were buying new dealerships, you know what I'm saying? Like
It doesn't make any
compute.
sense.
It doesn't compute, brother. It just doesn't compute. Now, even with the money that I make, I could see that bread was higher. I could see that gas was higher, but gas was higher than pandemic times. So it's supposed to be. There was no one driving. There was no one driving. It
Yeah,
makes
man.
sense. I
I'm
had my
some,
own. I had my own issues with Joe Biden, but prices wasn't one of them. Inflation wasn't one of them. Inflation wasn't a problem that I had with Joe Biden because he didn't cause inflation. The pandemic caused inflation, so that wasn't one of my issues with him. But yeah, like you said, bro, I saw people make tons of money under Joe Biden. I made really good money under Joe Biden, and some of the same people that I'm talking to right now will say out loud, "Man, stock market doing so bad right now. Oh man, did you see crypto today? Oh
yeah,
man." But they won't put the blame on where it's supposed to go.
yeah,
They will not
yeah,
put the blame on that man at all.
yeah.
Cool.
Nope. And
It's right.
it is all it's literally happening because of his mouth. It's not a thing that is. I mean, he hasn't passed any legislation that'll do anything right now.
No,
His mouth is causing the market to be jittery. And he
no,
doesn't care. He just keeps saying it.
no, no,
Yep.
no, no. They keep eating it up.
King Trump, President Musk.
Yep. Yep. What D-Todd, what's going on with the Three Rivers?
Man, it looks like they mismanaged funds bad. So the previous administration, I like to use that term, for Three Rivers Festival, they went out and ran up a bill. I think it was 350K is what the debt was when the new folks took it over.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they tried to raise that money, but it was a red flag. I mean, Chuck Surak, who is known for saving all of the Fort Wayne things like Lodge Optical and like and just rebuilding downtown and just investing into the city, wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Mm.
He was respectful in the article and was just like, hey, I just don't see the benefit of it. But yeah, you pay 350K and then have to pay hundreds more just to do it again. Just didn't make sense. So unfortunately, people who were in charge mismanaged funds and ran it into the ground. The new administration couldn't save it, so it's no more.
How long has Three Rivers been around? I know it was around the whole
1969?
time I was there.
1969?
1969? Wow. I saw Jake posting about doing something in instead of it. That'd be dope. I come home for that. Hey, I come home for that.
Who knows?
Yes, sir.
Nature's healing.
Yeah.
It's what we'll say. There's several people posting about doing stuff. You know, I've seen several ones like we're gonna team with the city and whoop de whoop. But you said I'm not saying names. You said a name.
Yeah.
I think I know Jake a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if he posted, I'm gonna say it. Hey, he wasn't hiding it, so I'm gonna pop it
Hey,
out there.
hey, I know
I
Jake
hope
a
you
little
do
bit.
it, bro. I
There
hope you
might be
do it. I'll be there.
there might be some fire there. Who knows? I'm not gonna speak for him. I think he's a
Yeah.
nice guy. I like him a lot, right?
Yep, yep.
I'm sure he could put together a team to do something if he wants to do it, but
Yes, he
who
can.
knows?
I
We'll
just
see.
want my annual elephant here. That's all I want, man.
What'd you
Man,
say?
I just want my annual elephant here. I get one
You
elephant
feel
a
me?
year,
you
every
can go get
year.
an elephant ear anywhere, man.
But it ain't like the same. It ain't the
It ain't
same
like
at
the
the.
same, like, and the beauty, and you know, like I said, I live right downtown. Like, I mean, from my dining room, I can see Hayward Park. I can see all of it. I listen to all the concerts, all of the things in the summertime. It's great where I live in the summertime. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of gonna miss it, man.
Well,
I'm
for things to
kind of
go
gonna miss it.
away, I mean, at the end of the day, the last few years, it hasn't really been anything great.
True.
The
I mean,
vendors that,
especially with the construction right there.
yeah, the vendors that come in aren't the best. I think a good reset was needed. It
You
definitely
think so?
lost its luster. People are like, "Oh, we're going to Three Rivers," and most people go, "Eh, okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it
And
needs a makeover.
you see, as you again, I'm not saying names, but somebody on Capo's feed that said that they wanted to do something, and then I think it's like 200 likes, couple shares, right? Status blew up. People wanting to help, invest. So you get the right people involved, man. The city is just sticky, you know.
Mm-hmm.
People want to stay in certain positions and try to monopolize the game until it's too late.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe if somebody is showing you they can do something on a national scale, you put all your resources behind that guy.
There it is.
Again, not saying names.
Don't say no name. Hey, David, we did not touch on something that I know you wanted to touch on, and we only got about 20 more minutes.
What's
Um,
up?
the names you mentioned earlier, the Pardons and
Ah.
yeah. Because I didn't dig too deep into this, so I need to hear your perspective on what happened.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I decided to woke up to see an article that Rob Blagojevich got pardoned, right? I mean, and
That's a Chicago guy, right?
yeah, the Chicago guy who sold Barack Obama's Senate seat once he
Yeah.
became president,
Yep.
and he was on tape selling that seat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was guilty as all get out, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But you know, this is what I'm saying. Like we're dealing with. I guess this is what happens when you elect a criminal. They just do criminal stuff.
Right.
Stuff that doesn't make any sense. I mean, again, 1,500 people that they keep trying to make us forget actually did what they did. But, you know, Blagojevich. Then you got Eric Adams over there in New York, you know, federally indicted for taking bribes and $100,000 for vacations and all of the things. And, you know, he gets a pardon, right? And all you got to do is flatter Donald Trump, and you just kind of get what you want, you know. But even still, even aside from that, as messed up as that is, the thing that's really been bothering me is the Darren Beatty thing, man. The guy that's hired, he hates Indians, you know. You're a speechwriter, you know, in the first administration. You get let go for being a speaker at a white nationalist convention, you know. But then your old tweets come up, you resign, and then Elon Musk brings you right back. I mean, if that's not a giant, just like fuck anybody that's not white.
I thought there was two separate guys. I thought one of them was a speechwriter and one of them worked for Elon. Some dude named Eric something.
No, yeah, well, I haven't even got to that guy yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, Darren Beatty was the speechwriter in the first Trump administration. And oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, you're right. I mixed up the tweets. You're right. You're right. Yeah, Darren Beatty. But again, they brought him back. Then the speechwriter who said he was, you know, racist before it was cool and all of the things and all of that, and then they let him right back in. And then it's even more disturbing than that. There's some 19-year-old kid who has a moniker Big Balls who has access to all our information.
Yeah.
He's 19 years old.
19-year-old kid. Big
19-year-old kid.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to say. You know, every day something new is happening. You know, and again, it's not that big of a deal. because I can tell you I don't look at calendars unless I put something on there for a meeting or something like that. But just seeing Google, removing all of the national holidays from the calendar that aren't, related to white people. MLK Day is not on their calendar. Black History Month's not on their calendar. LGBTQ is not on their calendar. Like the things that, people celebrate and people, look forward to. And again, it's not going to stop us from celebrating Black History Month. It's not going to stop us from talking about it. But the fact that people are actively trying to erase, demographics, all in the name of appeasing white people who can't get past their own hatred.
Yeah, I think
And-
it's
and-
we stop. I shouldn't just say you. Sorry, we stop expecting different. I mean, they try to get rid of critical race theory.
Yeah.
Because it made them uncomfortable.
Yeah,
The truth made them uncomfortable. It's not like you
The
make
truth.
stuff up. You
yeah,
got-
we're not making it up.
And-
It's true.
I mean, white nationalists voted for Donald Trump. Plain and simple. And he didn't condemn them at all.
He embraced it. He
He
embraced
said,
it.
hey, we're going to take care of you. We're going to get rid of these things. And white women voted to get rid of DEI, not realizing they're the largest beneficiary.
Yep.
Now you're finding out.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't have a lot left. I wanna go out on this note right here. This guy will never let it go. We're gonna go out on this note right
I say
here.
it all
He'll
the
never
time.
let
This
it
would
go.
have never happened if I were president. If the election weren't rigged, this would have never happened. And let's see whether or not Fox lets you put that in, okay? If the election weren't rigged, you hear me, rigged?
Right, you just won, and you still talking about it was rigged. That is a man-child that cannot let anything go. To me, it sums him up as a human being when you watch that video where you are the sitting president and you say it was rigged. I don't know if Fox will let you put it on TV. It was rigged. He can't let it go. He's a man-child. I know everybody, not everybody, but I know a lot of people think that I have switched sides and I'm a complete Trump supporter. What I am is a honest human being, and when somebody do something right, I'm gonna say they did something right, and when somebody do something wrong, I'm gonna say they did something wrong.
The best
And
part about that is
whatever-
we a
Hold
few
on,
weeks in,
go ahead and do that.
we a few weeks in, you ain't been saying that man did nothing right.
No, I gave y'all one, and I was wrong about that. I thought he did something good with the ceasefire, and I was wrong about that. The
Yeah.
ceasefire was a cover. He wanted to take
So-
that land.
Yeah, and that plus, like I said, at the end of the day, bro, like I get where you're coming from. Like you open this up saying that you're an eternal optimist. I get that. You're still trying to fit this dude into a box of how things used to be or should be, or if this happens, then this no.
But I think you misconstrued what I'm trying to do. There was a vote in Arizona today for no tax on tips. Every Republican voted for it. Every Democrat voted against it. I'm not gonna say the Democrats were right to vote against it. Now maybe there's some other stuff that I don't know about that'll happen if you do no tax on tips, and they'll fire everybody. And maybe I'm wrong, but for a worker who gets tips. My fiance, she gets tips. She's an esthetician. Most of it's on a credit card. 90% of people don't carry cash anymore, so ain't no
Right.
ducking and dodging like they used to be back in the day. You gonna
Right.
pay your taxes on it. So
Right.
I don't have a problem with that. I don't
I
have a
don't
problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that either, but I mean, you also got to understand something. I think it's something that hasn't really been talked about much in regards to no tax on tips. It's still income. So how can you say these people over here making this money don't have to pay taxes, but everybody that goes in and punches the clock every day still have to pay taxes? They don't need the tips. They still got to. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's why that does not work.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying is you can always say, "What about that guy?" But that's not my thing. My thing is let that person have no tax on tips. I could care
Yeah.
less. It don't affect me $1 that
Right.
he gets no
Understood.
tax on tips.
Understood. I understand that. But what I'm sitting there saying to you is, number one, America kills people over capitalism.
Mhm.
So America's not giving up any revenue stream if they don't have to. Because
Right.
again, if you start with the no tax on tips, which again was just a huge, marketing ploy, if you want, it was a way for him to go snag some more young voters.
Except it's happening. It just happened in Arizona today.
Right, and on a state level, not a federal.
Right, but nobody was thinking about it before he said it. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I won't be critical of something good that happens. If we got health care for all in a state next week, would you say, well, what about the other states who don't got health care? No, you should be happy for that state that passed health care for all. Why would you be mad at them?
No, I wouldn't be there.
That's what I'm saying. That's the kind of approach I take to everything. I don't take a sledgehammer to nothing. I take a scalpel to it and see if I can find what's right and what's wrong. And when I see wrong, I say wrong. And when I see right, I say right.
Right,
That's what
but
I
the
always
point,
said.
but the point that I guess that I'll never be moved on this is the entire Trump presidency is wrong. Period. Like point blank. Period. It's wrong. It should not exist.
Okay.
So what you're asking me to do is be like, you know what? Throw out all the other stuff because he's here, and I understand he's here, and there's nothing I can do about it. But what I have in my head is saying that this should not happen. He should not be here, and there is nothing that he's going to do that is going to wipe away the stain of all of the terrible things that are happening and has happened in this country as a result of him. There was
Right.
nothing so fine. You come to me tomorrow and say, I got free healthcare. At the end of the day, I don't really care. I pay like $70 a week for healthcare. Okay. Like I've used it twice in the past 2 years, right? So
What's the point that you do care about? Because
a
healthcare
point
must
that I
not be
do
your
care,
hobby.
a point
What's something you
that I
care
do
about?
care
Yeah,
about
that's,
is
just that's the problem. To say both of you, like Capo to be, I mean, this is a selfish take that you have there. But you can't be too far to the left to where you say, well, nobody gets it, and so no one should have it. That's a little dramatic too as well. You have to meet in the middle, and that's where America can fail to do, and that's why the worst presidency and the worst president, all of those things are happening. So yes, if this was Minnesota and we had health care and our kids ate free lunch and they had the best test scores and all those things, I'd be happy that we get to have it because it's one step in the right direction. So you both are right in a sense, but you can't be so far to where it's too selfish to, well, yeah, sorry, no one else gets it in the entire state but these workers because he had to keep a campaign promise. Doesn't really make sense. My wife's going to benefit. Sorry for you. It's kind of selfish. But at the same time to say, hey, well, if we get it, no, because no one else has it. We got to fight against it. No, you got to take your wins too. So both things can be right. Two things can be right at once, if that makes sense.
And that's what,
I'm completely off, and I just rambled. I'm sorry.
that's what makes it. That's what
I get what
makes
you're
it
saying.
show. That's what makes it show the way it's supposed to be. Because obviously, I think that we are all on the same side of things, but we just have a different approach to how we do this. We have a different approach. There's not a single way on earth, if I were able to vote, that I would have voted for Donald Trump. There's not a single way on earth. But there is a single way on earth that I would have voted for somebody other than Kamala Harris. I don't know that she was my first choice, but she would have been the choice in this election because of who she was running against. I don't know who would have been my first choice, but I don't know that she would have been my first choice. And I don't think that that's a controversial thing to say.
I don't think it's controversial. It's just that I've not heard one legitimate argument from anybody after why they would vote for Kamala Harris.
I mean, because you don't legitimize the argument, not because you haven't heard it. I told you why I didn't vote for her. I think she's a corporate Democrat. I think she's a corporate Democrat, just like any corporate Democrat. I made a mistake. No, I didn't make a mistake. I pushed Joe Biden, who's a corporate Democrat, because I thought he could beat Donald Trump. That's why I pushed for him. but he's a corporate Democrat that accepts PAC money just like she does. That is that has the pharmaceutical companies have them in their pockets, and they will do as much for their donors as anyone else. There's only one person. There's only one person out there that I know of in the legislation right now that doesn't take corporate PAC money, and that's Bernie Sanders. And there may be others, but he's the biggest.
Okay, understood. But I mean, let's go back to something that you said earlier. I mean, politicians haven't been in charge for a very long time
because they take corporate PAC money.
Right. Okay. However, you got one side of the aisle that actually attempts and does things for people. So yeah, everything, they may be corporate, I'm fine, but I'd take a corporate president over what we have right now, that where you got this psychopath from South Africa who bought a presidency. So you're talking about super PAC and pharmaceutical companies and blah. Like, I get that, but bro, you got Elon Musk.
I said the same thing. I would, if I had those two choices, I would choose Kamala Harris.
Right, but I guess the point that I'm getting at though is like the way that you just rattled off all of the things that, you know, like, and I mean, it was pretty like, oh, I hate this, I hate this. Not one time have I heard you say that you hate that shit about Donald Trump. I've not heard you say that one time.
You must not ever be on my feed. You must not ever be on my feed. If you can literally say that you've never heard me say
I'm talking
about Donald Trump.
I'm talking about in our conversations since we've been doing this.
In our conversations,
you're always trying to point out the good.
Even D-Time said I haven't pointed out much good in the last 5 episodes because there ain't been none. If there ain't none, I won't point out none. If there ain't none, I'm not gonna say none.
Yeah.
4 minutes left, brothers. We're gonna have another whole week of wild entertainment from the Trump administration. The one good thing about the Trump administration is you can put on a show behind him. But I give up this show. I give up this show to save America. I ain't gonna lie to you. We in trouble. We in a lot of trouble.
USAID, where they keep putting out fake reports every single day.
Yeah.
And then people, the idiot people who won't admit that they voted wrong would then jump and screenshot it and blast it or share it. You're like, see, this is all of the things they're cutting.
Condoms to Gaza.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I might say things that are wrong and need to be corrected, as he continues to tweet false things every other minute. I had to block him again.
Who was that?
Elon.
Oh.
I
can't remember. I don't remember which Democrat said it, but he said it well. He said they put out a bunch of false narratives and make it worse than it is to try to get people in an uproar. America should say $25,000 for a comic book is ridiculous. But instead of them just saying a comic book, they have to say a transgender comic book. Because that's what they really want you to be upset about. Any government, if I can't go to work tomorrow, even though I'm in control of a lot of money at that dealership, and spend $50 on a pen on my credit card from work. I can't do that. They won't allow it, they cut me short. So I believe in cutting waste, but a lot of stuff they saying is just to upset people. Transgender this and transgender that. Everything is transgender.
Speaking of transgender, you know how many transgender male athletes are transitioning and currently in the NCAA and women's sports?
Probably zero.
60?
10. 10. But
your daughters are safe, not from their doctors or from me.
It's one of those things where, like, literally, they'll take one thing, one little incident. And again, like I said, I my get down, that ain't my get down. But again, I will never, ever, ever question a person's humanity. Your right to live how you want to live. I will never attack you for it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not. Doesn't mean that I'm riding with you on it. But what I'm not going to do is hate you for it.
Yeah. And they spew a lot of hatred. Now, do I Do I think a man should be in the ring boxing a woman? No,
No,
I don't think
not
it's
at all.
okay.
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's okay. But at the
No.
same time, to repeatedly say these things, you're saying it for hatred. You're saying it so
Yeah.
they can be the other person.
Yeah.
No, I posted about the and I was wrong about the person in the Olympics. I guess they wasn't even what they was, and I posted about it because I didn't
Oh,
like it.
the gal from Algeria who was actually a woman.
Yeah, I was wrong
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, man.
That's the mature thing to say. When you're wrong, it's easy to admit you're wrong when you're a grown man.
Yeah.
You can admit you're wrong. So
Yeah.
I was wrong about it.
Well,
But-
dude, doesn't fit the narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? If this turns into a podcast where we're all making $1 million a year, you know what? I hope to God I don't ever change who I am, which I'm pretty sure I won't.
No.
Cause again, I'm not moved by money like most people are. It's just again, when you come from where I come from, you appreciate what you have. And like I said, I have no aspirations to own a yacht. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm the
Some good
same
friends,
man.
good people, good place to live, and chill and do what I kind of want to do when I want to. That's good enough for me. So you know, like I said, I mean, hell, I drive around with I keep about 21s in my pocket because then I can see the homeless shelter from where I live. And every day somebody walks into my car asking me for something, so I pull out a couple dollars and give it away. I do this shit, you know, all the time.
Yep.
You know, I mean, take care of people. You know, like I said, what I would love to see happen, you asked me this, and I was going to say it, is all of the people that are out here that said, what about our veterans? You know what? I actually would love to see the veterans taken care of, right? You know, what about the kids? You know, you claim you care about the kids and you feed them at school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what I want. You know, people actually
You gotta
believe in what it is they claim to believe in. You know what I mean? That's it.
hard to take care of veterans when veterans don't believe in the rights to be taken care of. It's hard
Yeah.
to take care of women when they don't believe in that they have certain rights.
Yeah,
It's hard to take care of kids when their poor parents keep voting against their will.
their
It
interest,
makes it
man.
harder for everything. Like it's tough.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, you dismantle the Department of Education. What's the number one thing? Well, I gotta go to work. How am I gonna work when my kids are home from school? Well, guess what? If they shut that joint down, then I don't know what you're gonna do.
Now you gotta pay for school,
And you gotta pay for school.
and your rent's going up, so you can't miss your job, and wages are staying stagnant because they don't have to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
unless you're an entrepreneur, you have 7 streams of income. Good luck.
Welcome to America.
Or you sell a commodity that gives you a pretty decent commission.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Don't
think
know how
we,
we're gonna sell much gas, glasses, or cars when people start losing money. It affects all of us, right?
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think we have reached the over 130 mark. Anybody who joined in tonight and took a look, I appreciate it. Obviously, it'll be up on all platforms. I will cut these things and get us some clips and put some clips out there. And we're just gonna keep building, man, and keep moving forward. For long, we're gonna be in a building somewhere doing this podcast live and really taking off with this thing, man. I appreciate everybody. We appreciate everybody's opinion. That's all I got. Anybody else want to say anything?
No, man, I'm good. Appreciate y'all. Whoever do be popping in on us. Appreciate it. So, you know, keep tuning in. Yeah. So we'll keep doing this as long as he's president. And I'll keep you know, trying to give you as much truth as possible, or at least, you know, what I think to be true. I don't know.
Right on. D, you good?
Appreciate anyone who took their time out to watch us. You know, sometimes it feels like rambling, but we try to stay coherent, try to make points. Well, we have different takes. Yeah, we might be all on the same side of the coin, but still 3 people who display a level of empathy and care about our country and our people. And that's all people, not just the
Yeah.
people that look like us, even though all 3 of us look alike.
That's right. Common sense. We'll catch y'all next time. All right. That's it. That's all. Just don't y'all make sure y'all don't hang up till
Couple-
down.